Hello, sorry for the lack of uploads recently. I've been struggling with ideas. I did actually have this mouse for quite a while now, but I just wanted to, get used to it before I made a review on it. So, yeah, let's just get straight into it. Unlike the Razer Viper's ambidextrous design, the Razer Basilisk has an ergonomic design, meaning it can only really support the right hand. So if you're left-handed, sorry, but it is good for when you're playing for a certain amount of time. That it could put strain on your wrist, palm, whatever. So I really like this mouse because I'm right-handed and it feels a lot more comfortable than the Razer Viper. Not that the Razer Viper's bad. Yeah, I'd suggest this mouse if you've been experiencing wrist pain of any sorts. The Razer Basilisk V3 uses Razer optical switches V2, unlike the Razer Viper, which uses the first one, V1. If you haven't watched my Razer Viper video, basically the difference between a normal mechanical switch and Razer's optical switches is that Razer's optical switches don't have any sort of debounce, so you won't have to worry about double clicking, and it also has a faster reaction time, I guess you could say. And the difference between the V1 and the V2 is mostly the feel. They're a lot lighter. The V2s are a lot lighter, so it's great for stuff like Geometry Dash, or just basically for anything where you have to have a fast reaction speed. It feels a lot more clicky and less mushy like the V1s. The side buttons are also not mushy like the Razer Vipers are, and it's just a lot of a better feel, and it's just nicer. The price point is around $70 in Canadian, so this is good for what you get, but if you do want something a little cheaper, I would suggest just getting the Razer Viper Mini or the Razer Viper, depending on whichever one you want. But yeah, so $70 plus shipping, but you do get a really good mouse in the return, so I would say it's worth it. I don't know about you, it depends what you want or what you're looking for. The Razer Basilisk V3 is very similar to the G502, but there are some key differences other than the mechanical compared to the optical switches. So it's all down to personal preference. The button locations are different, feeling is different, the materials are especially different. Razer having more of that fiber feeling, and the G502 having more of a metal feeling. It just all comes down to what you want and personal preference. I like the Razer Basilisk V3 because I don't have to worry about any sort of debounce. It's just a nicer feel for me. I don't know about you. The Razer Basilisk V3 works well with almost any game, FPS, RPGs, Terraria, Valorant, Overwatch, Apex. It works well with anything. You might be scared of the weight of the mouse, which I think is 82 grams, but the wire just basically negates that because you can't feel it. The wire is so light and flexible. It's not as bad as you think, especially if you play a precise shooter. The weight actually might help you. The shape is just good. It's good for almost any game. It can be used for something else other than Geometry Dash. I know, surprising, but it's just a good mouse over all games in my opinion. Yeah, it's okay. You can use it for anything. There are a few unique things about the Razer Basilisk V3, other than it having more side buttons than usual. Its main part is the scroll wheel. Like the G502, you can make it so it can just scroll freely and make it scroll really fast. They also have this feature that is toggleable in the Razer Synapse software, which I might show later. I don't know. So basically, what it does is basically, depending on how hard you scroll the wheel, it will choose to either go from tactile to free to, and also, I think like one of the G502 models, you can move it from right to left, and this will hit a button that you can program to be anything, I think. there are two buttons under the wheel, which I think can just really be used for anything. I know what the top one does. It just makes the wheel go between free move and I'm just gonna say tactile. I don't know what word to use. And then there's the one under the top one. This is the I don't know what this one does. It just kind of, I guess it's just a programmable button that you can set, and it's just really unique in the smart wheel thing. I think that's pretty cool. The DPI button is on the bottom. It can change between different profiles, 400 DPI, 800 DPI. It doesn't matter. It can just, it's just used to switch between, just in case you use a DPI from, like, let's say you use 400 for Valorant and 800 for Apex, you can just switch it. That's all I can say. Software. Basically, with the Razer Basilisk V3, you can change a lot. You can change just basically everything. You can reprogram quite a bit. It just, yeah. Here's where you can turn on the smart acceleration, is what they call it. And this is where, increases the scroll speed the faster you scroll. You can do that if you want. And then there is scrolling mode, where you can, if you want to, where you can use the software to choose instead of the programmed button that you have at the top that does it for you. And then there's smart reel. This is what I was talking about. So if I scroll slowly, I don't know if the mic could hear this, but when I scroll slowly, you can hear that it's more of a tactile, but when I start scrolling decently hard, it starts to go really fast. It goes to free spin. I personally don't use it as if I want to scroll fast. I just hit the button at the top. But if it interests you, maybe you're doing schoolwork or you're just doing work in general, whatever it is, you can just use that if you want. You can change it to hypershift, which just gives you more options for programmability. It has a max DPI of 26,000. I have personally 2 stages that I use, and it's just, it's great. And yeah, you can choose between 2 or 5 stages depending on whichever one you want. I don't know why you would change the pulling rate, but if you want to, you can lower it. You can choose lighting, lighting, brightness to whatever. It's not wireless, so it won't really affect battery because it doesn't really have one. It has a switch off lighting, just in case you want to use that, I guess. You can change it, advanced effects, whatever you want, and do a calibration. It's all down to personal preference of what you want, as you can fully customize it. This is Chroma Studio. This is where you can basically just, do some things. You can add effects, ambient awareness. I don't even know what any of these do. I'm gonna be completely honest, but I don't really use any of these, so you can just do whatever you want, I guess. Select these. You can choose what you want. How fast you want these things to scroll. It's all just preference. Like I said, what do you like? Do you like breathing, ambient awareness, audio meter? It just depends. You have a lot of customizability here. You can change, all of this, just all of it, colors, whatever you want. You can choose. You can literally choose almost anything. So, you can mess around with it, or you could just be like me and be lazy, because I don't really look at my mouse when I'm playing video games. So I just keep it on default, and I like it. So, it's all up to you though. And that might just be the end of our video. If you did enjoy what you saw, please leave a like, and if you really did like it, maybe subscribe. I will start streaming on my second channel. I'm also planning to change the name of my channel, so yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm signing out. Peace.